Hello everybody, Dannenmueller. I'm a professional fisherman. I'm also the publisher of Crappie Now and Catfish Now digital magazines. We're out here on the Alabama River. We're doing some night fishing out here, and to get prepared to come out here to fish for these crappie, these big slabs out here at night. And what I did is I came out here in the afternoon and I used my Garmin electronics and I used down view, side view, and mapping, and I went in and found these fish hanging off of brush piles and ledges in the daytime mode, and then watched what happened at dark of where these fish moved to. Today I found those fish in 12 to 14 feet of water. Some of them were 18 to 20, but when it got dark it was like a vacuum cleaner came and those fish escaped from those deep holes and went up and started feeding on the shad, and we start plucking off those crappie that moved out of those deep channels. I wanted to show you how we're finding these fish on electronics. We're using Garmin, in this case the 7610. We've got it up here, and this particular model on the front is the 7612. And this particular model allows me to do traditional HD that you see on the left side here. And I've got my mapping up, and these are the actual fish that we've been fishing. And you can see these fish are just stacked in here. And these fish are crappie, and they're shad together. And these fish are, in this case, in anywhere from 4 to 8 feet of water. And at nighttime they get up here on the shallows and they're feeding on those shad. And by our use of lights, we can zero in on these fish that have moved up to feed at nighttime, and we're using the Garmin electronics to find them. And earlier I had it on side scan so I could see the fish where they were at, and Panoptics where we could see that the fish before dark were on the bottom, and after dark you can see they've been coming up. And then we started fishing for them with lights underwater to denote and bring those shad up to the top to the boat. And we actually did spider rig with them and one pole for these crappie out here, and caught fish by pulling in those shad to us. And that way then the fish come up and they get a smorgasbord to come up here and catch them a good sized minnow or minnows, and we're going to pluck them off while we're doing that. We've caught some crappie this evening, and we've caught some good crappie. This system by Enlightened Outdoors is incredible. I was showed it tonight and we went out here to try it. And I think night fishing for crappie is something that, an art that a lot of people have escaped from. They haven't done as much of as they used to do. It used to be an art that everyone went crappie fishing at nighttime. We're out here in the river tonight and there's no one. There's no one out here. And we're catching crappie out here doing this technique. And bringing lights like these to the marketplace where people can come out and night fish, and all the different kinds of lights like Predator Tactics has out, and all these other companies that we can use lights for, like you see on my head. This green light allows me to see my rods even in the darkest of night, but it doesn't blind you. It allows you to see them, and it lights up the line on your rods. It's just a great tool to have on your head so you don't have to hold it, and I can see my rods while I'm fishing at night. And like what we're using out here in the boat, and like this Enlightened light that we put underwater and allow to bring the bait fish up. So if you've got your favorite brush pile or dock that you either have it lit or not lit, and you want to go out and catch some crappie, hang these off your dock, or go out in a boat and come out here and night fish when it's not hot. You can bring the family out here, it's nice and quiet, and you can catch a bunch of crappie off your favorite hole. I think there's a future in this for tournaments. I think there's a future in this for families to go out and catch a lot of crappie when it's really hot. We're in September out here right now, and it's hot, 95-degree days. Water temperatures, the surface temp's right at 87 degrees. Everybody thinks that the crappie are really not biting, and even during the day they're not doing well. There's one way to come out here at night, so it's a great tactic. Do your homework, come out, find the fish before it gets dark. You know where they're concentrated at. Find the creek bends, find the deeper water. And use some baits. The favorite we use tonight is Bobby Garden with Roadrunner heads. And go out and use some jig heads and tip them with a minnow this time of the year, and you can't go wrong. The best times of the year are any time of the year. And lights at night or first thing in the morning will actually get those fish activated where you can catch them any time of the year. In the springtime, just before the spawn, Those fish, the males come up and you'll see them in the shallows and you're going to catch a lot of small fish. Those big females are setting off the first drop just away from those male fish. So what you want to do is bring your lights out, put some of the lights that are underwater lights, some of the lights that you can put above water that float, and use those lights to be able to concentrate those big females that are sending one contour line off those males. After the spawn, you can go out and catch those fish right on the flats. Anywhere there's a brush pile or anywhere there's a congregation place where they come off the spawning grounds, there'll be big schools of shad out there and they're going to feed on those shads. Go in there and use your underwater lights to concentrate that bait, and you're going to catch the crappie, because all they're doing is staying around those big wads of bait so they can feed and get themselves back healthy after the big spawn. And again, when you get into early summer and midsummer, you can go at night, bring Enlightened outdoors lights that are the snake light type things that you can put underwater and it won't hurt them at all. And you can concentrate those bait fish, put them over your brush pile, the end of your favorite dock, wherever it may be, and concentrate those bait fish, bring them up there and pluck those big slabs off at night. Gets into the fall, they're on a fall feed, the best time of the year where they're really wanting to get all the food they can to store it for the winter time. They're also putting their eggs on at that time for the springtime, and they're going to feed up and put as much bulk in there as they can to survive through the winter. And you're going to want to do the same thing. Go out there on the creek channel ledges coming into creeks, and they're going to concentrate on those areas and they're going to pick off the shad. So concentrate your lights at those places and you can't go wrong. Any time of the year you can go out and night fish for crappie. I think this has huge potential for catching lots and big crappie, especially when you have brush piles and the right conditions. We have seen so many bait fish underneath these lights. They're awesome. You go online, read both magazines at www.crappienow.com and catfishnow.com. It's free. Or call me and I'll be glad to tell you all about it. My cell phone number is 334-315-3619. You can find all about the magazines and all about crappie fishing and catfishing.